Okay, so let's look at another post on Korea's Eternity microsite. So, character tone correction story. So, the character colors are subtly different from Mabinogi. I transferred the Mabinogi character shader to Unreal Engine as is, but the character colors are different. Even if you test it unlit, the tone is different. So this is all about like the different like color tones and the way like lighting works and stuff like that. Leon Engine versus Unreal Engine Unlit versus Unreal Engine Mabinogi specific shader. So differences between Leon and Unreal Engine. We looked at 4 of the factors that affect color above. How do the 2 engines provide functionality for each of these 4? Properties of a material such as its reflection, absorption of light are defined by the material or shader in the game engine. For reference, in Unreal Engine, a material that has no effect on light at all is called unlit. And in this case, it always appears as the set color regardless of light. Let's assume this makes no difference since they said they ported the shaders from Leon to Unreal as is. So the remaining elements are lighting that affects directly and indirectly, and the results output by the monitor and the gamma correction or tone correction processing for them. The Unreal Engine that Mabinogi will be ported to has a lighting system called Lumen. Calculates direct and indirect lighting that affects the scene in real time. So here's the comparison results. This is before Lumen and this is after. And you can see the difference, how like this one's darker a little bit and this one looks a little bit brighter. This is a feature that was not present in the older Leon engine. The difference in the lighting system may affect the color. Another difference is that Mabinogi uses gamma correction, while Unreal Engine provides a system called Tone Mapper, which supports gamma correction and other correction methods. Differences in tone correction are also a factor affecting color, so it is important to look at the differences. Differences in troubleshooting of tone correction by Tone Mapper. Unreal Engine supports Tone Mapper as a function called post-processing. Filter effects that we use in cameras can also be considered as this type of post-processing function. In post-process, I was computing color correction instead of gamma correction with a color grade texture like below. The engine default was to use color correction unconditionally, so I modified it so that only gamma correction is calculated without using color correction by adjusting the relevant parameter values. As a result, we were able to confirm that the character was output with the same color as Leon Engine when using the unlit shader. So color comparison after tone correction of Leon Engine versus Unreal Engine Unlit versus Unreal Engine Mabinogi specific shader. And here you can see blinded. So these are the examples. This one's the Pleon Engine one, this one's the Unreal Engine Unlit, and this one's the Unreal Engine Mabinogi specific shader, it looks like. When you match the tone to the character, the background tone changes. So left when the tone is matched to the background, right when the tone is matched to the character. So here you can see the two examples, and you can sort of tell that the tone is a little bit different. If we could distinguish between characters and non-characters at the tone mapper stage that handles tone correction, wouldn't it be possible to make an exception so that only characters are not color corrected? So, character outlines. Character mask information recorded separately when drawing the character outline. And here you can see an example right here. With this character identification mask information, we were able to add the ability to adjust bloom separately for each character, as well as tone map correction. Control character specific tone map parameters. So from left to right we can see this image of Dailies and how it changes with each tone being adjusted. And then down here we have character specific bloom parameter control. Lighting calculation differences and troubleshooting. Based on the results so far, we have confirmed that when created with the unlit shading model, it appears to have the same color as Pleon. Color comparison after tone correction of Pleon Engine versus Unreal Engine Unlit versus Unreal Engine Mabinogi specific shader. So from left to right we can see blinded again here. However, the character on the right that uses the Mabinogi specific shader still appears with different colors. So yeah, this one doesn't look quite right, it doesn't look like blended. Why can't we just use unlit? You might think like this. Unlit is a shader that is literally unaffected by lighting. So whether or not the character goes under the shadow of the tree, the fake lighting like above will always be visible. Yeah, I can see how that could be a problem. So there was a need to normalize the Mabinogi specific shaders to fit Unreal Engine. The goal is to have Mabinogi specific shader like Unlit express the same colors as Pleon, while also reflecting lighting and shadows. First of all, why does it look so dark? So, shadow map comparison. After looking into it, I found out that characters using Mabinogi specific shaders always appear dark because the shaders are implemented to cast shadows. I tried modifying it so that shadows are not always cast, but only when shadows are needed. And you can see the examples of that, here and here. Although it is brighter than the shadow area, the feeling of the area where light is calculated is more realistic than toon-like. Perhaps this is why shadows are always drawn when imported into Unreal Engine. In order to maintain the feeling of toon shading, I recorded the character's shadow color separately, and since it would be a waste to play with buffers not used in toon shading, I changed them to record lighting color and reflected shading results. Before editing, only lighting colors exist versus after editing, separate the shadow color and lighting color, then synthesize in tune style according to the shade. Shadows and basic lighting calculations are now guaranteed to be computed the same way as in Pleon engine. And here you can see like a character running, and how her shadow vanishes when she runs under the tree, but when she runs out from under the tree, you can see her shadow. So this just gives you an example. Next, when using the Mabinogi specific shader in the Lumen indirect lighting environment provided by Unreal Engine, we confirmed that the indirect lighting calculation results were too excessive and the character colors did not appear properly. So high versus low lumen influence on characters. And they have some examples here. This has been addressed by providing the ability to control lumen influence separately when using Mabinogi specific character shaders. Controlling character specific lumen parameters. So you can see how like the lighting is changing in this picture. And like the hair color and everything like that as they like adjust the settings for that. In this way, we have provided the ability to control background lighting and character lighting separately by providing character-only skylight influence parameters, point light character influence parameters, etc. Whether or not you're using lumens in this way. You can now set character-specific lighting separately from background lighting settings, allowing you to control the character's color tone without it looking too different from the background lighting. In conclusion, so far we have looked at the process of identifying and resolving the cause of the difference in character colors between Pleon and Unreal Engine. And I'm not sure when this post will be coming to the NA Eternity site. We do have 3 more posts coming to the NA Eternity site one on July 17th, one on July 24th, and one on July 31st, but doesn't say which ones are actually going to be posted here. So at some point this post will also be put on the NA Eternity site if you want to check it out. But if you want to read about it now, like I just did, you can go to the Korean website and click on their Eternity site button, and it'll take you here. You can use Google Chrome to translate all this, and it's right down here. Character tone correction story. All the posts about Eternity happen on the Korean Eternity site first, so if you want to read it right away, this is the place you should go. But it should be on the NA site by the end of July anyway. So let's look at another one of the new posts in the Mabinogi Korean Eternity section that just recently came out. I want to go straight to Dumbarton's school. So what do you think of the new Dumbarton that was briefly shown at the showcase? As it was a town that I visited often, I think the Militians were also impressed by it, as it had many areas that needed improvement. Starting from the continent of Ulad, there are regions that can be visited at all times, such as the continent of Idia and Belvast, as well as regions that can only be visited during certain events. and then special regions that don't belong to any continent, like Avon. And this area is like at the end of Saga 2. In addition to areas that you, the Militians, can easily access on a regular basis, there are many areas internally. For example, there are areas that are only necessary for special situations such as missions or cutscenes. There are also areas that cannot be entered on a regular basis and can only be entered when carrying out a special quest, such as the mainstream. Due to various limitations in the existing Pleon engine, there were cases where similar looking areas were composed of multiple areas. There were also quite a few one-time event-only areas that were no longer used. Therefore, in the process of porting to Unreal, we had to decide which areas were essential and which areas should be improved first. Dunbarton, a representative village where many Militians come and go. The development room also poured out various ideas to improve Dunbarton to make it richer and more convenient. We were able to reorganize various elements, starting with the previously considered inconvenient paths. After several discussions with the planning and art workers, we established the following major criteria. So yeah, they really improved Dumbarton, and you can see that in the showcase. Dumbarton has many convenient facilities centered around the town square, but there are some areas that are inconvenient, such as having to go around in a circle. So like the Dumbarton Magic School at the moment, you have to like go far to the left and go up some steps and enter, or far to the right and go up some steps and enter right now, and there's this big ugly wall right here. Well, that's going to be going away, and so is that little wall right there, right in front of the doors to the magic school. And this is what's going to look like in Unreal. So some of those training dummies are gone. There's a big staircase here. So now you can just walk right up. And then the little barrier in the center of that entrance is now gone, so you can just walk right into the magic school. I think this looks really good. This is a really good update. And then the town office is also going to be improved a lot, so they're going to... Right now, these two boards are like kind of in the center, and there's like a staircase on the left and right side for accessing the town office. But now it looks like they're going to take out those two staircases, move those two boards all the way to the left here, and they're going to just put one big old staircase in the center, so that's great. I checked the traces of all NPCs that were standing in Dumbarton one by one and readjusted the place elements. I will leave it to your imagination to see how many NPCs were stationed in Dumbarton even for a moment. When I checked the location information, it would be difficult to plant a new tree or something in the place where our precious planet is standing. We also paid a lot of attention to areas that could further highlight the symbols or landmarks of Dumbarton Village. So here's the unicorn statue area. And here you can see Town Square. It's a little bit easier to see than it was in the showcase. But they have the symbol of Dumbarton in the center of Town Square now, right here. That's really cool. I think that's a nice touch. As you trade, you can see that the symbol of Dunbarton is a unicorn through the icon. The location of the unicorn square, where enchantments were entrusted long ago and concerts were held, has been moved to the center, and the stone statue has been upgraded. Okay, so this is gonna be like a different statue then. The central square where everyone gathers has also been beautifully engraved with the unicorn symbol, which again you can see right here, that looks very nice. The buildings that play important roles, such as the bell tower and the government office, have also been rebuilt larger and more splendidly. The small garden and trees in front of the cathedral have also been arranged more beautifully. It would be even more enjoyable to gather with the guild members at this place overlooking the town square below. So yeah, this area looks very nice. In addition to this, the decorations on the stalls of shops placed in the town, the fountains, the vines growing on the buildings, the flowers blooming under walls, even the smallest details were decorated to create a lovely, beautiful Dunbarton. So yeah, these are the changes to Dunbarton in Unreal, and personally I think they did a very good job. This looks very good. It still looks like Dunbarton, and it not only looks better, it is better. They actually fixed some of the flaws with it without drastically changing the way Dunbarton is. So that's very good. So this video recently came out in Korea about 18 hours ago, 18 or 19 hours ago, almost a day. And this is called Mabinogi Eternity Battle Testing and Development Status. So let's take a look at this. And we have English closed captioning for this.
안녕하세요. 마비노기 총괄 디렉터 미경훈입니다.
This is Min Kyung-un, the general director of Mabinogi Eternity. So last summer we showed you Eternity's development and status and internal testing site.
뒤로 이터니티가 어떤 모습으로 찾아올지 많은 밀레시안 여러분들께서 궁금해하셨을 것 같습니다.
I think Militians have been curious about what Eternity will look like.
그래서 이번에는
So this time we've prepared a meaningful opportunity to invite you, our Militians, to the boss battle we're currently developing, and hear your opinions.
그간 이터니티에 보내주신 성원만큼이나 큰 관심과 열정을 제가 직접
At the test site, I was able to personally experience the great interest and passion that has been shown to Eternity so far. This test was conducted as a combat-focused test. So this is going to be like about the... I think it's going to be like about the Glass Scavellon boss fight. I prepared this video to convey the changed appearance of Eternity. Okay, so if we actually turn these off for a second, we can actually see the game screen right here. We have a better idea of what the UI is going to look like. It looks like there's some status effects listed down here. Our HP, our MP, and our stamina skills will be down here. I wonder if you'll be able to move this around the skill bar. And we can also see what the minimap will sort of look like. And then it looks like this is going to be the party information. So it looks like, I think these are the Arcana. So you'll be able to tell which party member has which Arcana for parties just by looking at the icons. That looks like it's going to be pretty helpful.
생생하게 전해드리고 조금이나마 궁금하신 점을 해소해
Okay, here's the boss fight.
영상을 준비해 보았습니다. 그럼 지금부터 이터니티 전투의 모습이 어떻게
Now I'll show you how the Eternity battle has
테스트
changed
현장과 함께
step by
차례대로
step along the test site.
이번 테스트는
This test will present a reimagined version of the battle
밀레시안
with
분들의 기억 속에서
the
자리하고 있는 지원
final boss, the Xanafiedlion.
글라스 기분행과의 전투를 새롭게 재구성해서 선보여드리게 됐습니다.
Yeah, so we've seen some new Eternity posts about this guy, but now we can actually see like some of the boss fight in action. So this looks pretty good. We can see the full what the interface will look like. So here's our skills. There's the boss's HP. And you can see all your party members, what arcana they're in, who's the leader. The mini-map is over there. It's being blocked by the Mabinogi logo, but the mini-map is there. And this is the new boss room. They talked about this in one of their posts. The boss room is going to change. The gargoyle statues are going to do more. You're going to have to like do something with those gems, those purple gems over there.
구현하려고 노력을 했고 이러한 디테일과 발전된 표현을 통해서 보스전
they tried to add like more movements and mechanics. So here you can see the way that it currently is, and here you can see like the new changes that they're making to it.
패턴이 완전히 다르지는 않습니다.
The strategy pattern is not completely different from the existing boss battles. However, we added new gimmicks to provide a variety of changes within the familiarity so that you can fully enjoy the fun through cooperation with party members. And we put a lot of effort into making the game more enjoyable through enhanced visibility and splendid production. We plan to continue to refine and perfect Eternity's unique boss battles, so please look forward to the future changes. And in this test, we increased the expressiveness of skill effects, along with new productions that were difficult to implement in Pleon. As you break through the Xanafiedlion's mood patterns and gimmicks, and reach a certain point, a cutscene-like transition scene will appear. Even during this moment, the battle continues, so you feel the tension without letting go, and feel the feeling that a new page is beginning more clearly. Yeah, that's pretty cool. After the transition is finished, it will fold to page 2. The background changes to a more tense one and a more violent Xanafiedlion. We intended to create more fast-paced and tense battle experience by changing not only the pattern but also the atmosphere of the space along with the page transition. Feedback you've given us during this Xanafiedlion Basics battle test will be used as valuable data to refine the overall battle tempo. Okay, yeah, so it looks like this is maybe going to be some sort of like closed beta test that actual players can do. Hopefully that's the case over in Korea. And it looks like they're open to feedback, so that's good. That's definitely the right move if that's like what they're doing. As you can see above, there have been significant changes not only to the presentation of boss battles, but also to the skill effects, while maintaining the original atmosphere. We have improved the skill effects to be more flashy to fit the Eternity style. Overall, we have strengthened the color, trajectory, and finishing moment presentation to ensure that it can be recognized at a glance even during party play, and we will continue to work hard to develop it so that we can continue to show you more advanced Arcana skills in the future.
이터니티 프로젝트의 아주 일부
I believe that the fact that we were able to show you a small part of the Eternity project
직접 보여드리고 이렇게 현장 테스트까지
and conduct
진행해 볼
field
수
tests
있었던
like
것은
this
오랫동안 이터니티를 기다려주신 밀레시안 여러분들의 관심과 응원 덕분이라고 생각합니다.
is thanks to the interest and support of all the Militians who have waited for Eternity for a long time. We will do our best to show you an improved version as soon as possible. So, yeah, I don't know how long it's going to be before we get new information. But I'm assuming that we'll get another update on Eternity by the next Fantasy Party, which will probably be, like, in June sometime. But yeah, this is the most recent video with some updates. This was pretty interesting. Alright, let's play some Mabinogi today. Hang on, I gotta get things set up. I still have my contraband police crap out. There we go. Alright, we are all set. I took over a week off from Mabinogi for the most part. So I'm way behind on this attendance event. That's for sure. Oh geez, I only got the first reward from this. I don't have any of the other ones. So the week this started, I probably played on Thursday, and then I haven't played since that Thursday when this event started. So this is ending on the 26th. So I have a little bit of time to get some stuff. I might not get the chair item. I don't know if I'll have enough time with how many days I missed. 5... wait. 1, 2, 3, 4... what are there, 5 or 6 fruit? 7... yeah, I might be able to get the chair. I don't know. We'll see. I'll be able to get the homestead items, so that's all I care about. That's really the only thing I want from that attendance event. That live stream that they did, the official live stream earlier, was actually really good. I watched that. I am very thrilled to hear that the older tech missions, the more difficult ones, are finally coming back. That is the first good update for Mabinogi that I've seen in a long time. Go figure, I take over a week off in the game. announces a positive update. So what am I gonna do today? I don't even know what I want to do today. What kind of event stuff do I have? Oh right, the week 4 thing. Clear a Shine Seeker dungeon. Ew, I don't want to do that. I'll do it for the coins. I don't like the Shine Seeker dungeons. Hey, Music Q outfit, that's cool. That's a old outfit. But a very cool one. I think that was the first event where they gave him Spirit of Tuon pet out for free. It was whenever the Milky Way instruments were released, which also look really cool. But wait a minute, now I got sidetracked. What am I doing again? Oh right, we were gonna go do Albie Shine Seeker dungeon because I gotta do it for the coins for the stuff. Okay. I'll do that. But yeah, I was very happy about the announcement to bring back the old tech missions. I consider that to be a huge W for the game. But then they talk about adding these homestead props as a possible drop item from Shine Seeker dungeons, and like it didn't look like the chat was too happy about that, because I think we all know the rates for actually getting those homestead figures are probably going to be incredibly low, so people have to run the Shine Seeker dungeons a lot. So it's like, Shine Seeker dungeons aren't that good to begin with, so it's just kind of using a band-aid to fix the larger problem, to temporarily fix the problem. They're trying to give us an excuse to play a part of the game that isn't very good, to make it seem better than it is. It's all kind of pointless. Wait a minute, how do I get into a Shine Seeker dungeon again? I think I just go to the... Or do I use the Shine Seeker orbs? I don't even remember how to enter a Shine Seeker dungeon because they're so boringly useless. Where's my Shine Seeker orb thingies? Do I even have any? I don't even know if I have any. Maybe they're in my Soulstream inventory. No? Although I do have a ton of pet whistles here I need to eventually use. Still haven't gotten around to naming any of those pets. That's the main problem. That's the main reason I haven't used these whistles, because I think I want to keep most of these pets. I'm not sure which ones I really want to sacrifice yet, and that means I have to come up with names for them, which I haven't done. Like, I don't have a fairy dragon, so I'm pretty sure I'm going to keep that one. The Idia treasure map pet is pretty cool, so I'm gonna keep that one. Probably gonna keep the Starry Wizard cat whistle. So yeah, like, I have a bunch of names I have to think of. Okay, well, I have no idea how to enter a Shine Seeker dungeon, because honestly they're so bad I try not to remember they even exist. I'll just do this. Oh right, I need a weapon. Wait, I'm sure I'm going about this the wrong way. Hang on. Let me try something else. Pop open the dungeon guide. Oh, here we go. I'll be Shine Seeker. Man, that dungeon guide sucks. Okay, wait a minute, so... But don't I need to drop a Shine Seeker orb to get in? I don't have any. Well, this is an interesting thing to figure out. Where do I get those shine seeking? Let me search for it. No, I don't have any of those things. I don't know where to find them either. Alright, let's find out. Oh, I have to waste my time talking to an NPC in Dumbarton? Okay. So that's what we have to do. Sure. That's why I don't have any orbs. Let's go get one. I don't see why they just don't appear in your inventory every week like Neurite does. Okay, I have no idea where to find this NPC. I'll look around a little bit. And then, NPC searcher if I can't find her. Maybe she's out by the dungeon stone. I'll go check there. Oh yeah, okay. Cool. Well, don't really have my interest, but I need to do it for the event, so... I guess so. Is Xanafiedlion too tall for these doors? Hang on. I want to check this out. Oh no, he's still shorter than the spikes aren't getting him. Okay, good. These doors are giant friendly. How is this a challenge? I haven't even done anything. That well, that's it. Okay, that part's done. Well, again, I just did that. Does it really want me to clear this like 2 or 3 times, or... Jeez. Oh, I think I sacrificed my entire stack of Shine Seeker orbs. I should divide those up. I wasn't expecting it to send me in more than once. Alright, well, I'll have to pick up more tomorrow then or something. So with event stuff for the day pretty much out of the way, I don't really want to do tech missions until they add the old ones back, which they're going to be doing on Thursday, so I think I'm going to wait to do any techs until Thursday. I think we'll just do commerce for the whole day. My two options are commerce or Stardust, and I think I prefer to just do commerce instead. It's a little bit more casual, more relaxing. Alright, let's start with some commerce from Draconel. So let's take these to Tara. Let's try doing some commerce from maybe Dumbarton next. And also, oh, are those pan bags gone? Darn, now I can't get my speed potions. I guess those either expired or removed. Alright, well that's fine. No more speed potions. How many event coins do I have? I don't have any of the freshman coins? Okay. Let's take these to E-Main, I guess. So we'll sell those here. And then really quick, I will be right back in a few minutes, and then we will do more commerce. Oh, and I guess this attendance event gave me some more Shine Seeker orbs, which is sort of a good thing. Let's divide these up. Because I don't know how many times it's going to want me to do the Shine Seeker dungeon, so... Alright, I guess we'll go back and take care of that for the event, then do commerce after. That was even better than the first time. The first time was like 4 minutes and 55 seconds, I think. Okay, so now what? Again? I was kind of hoping for something a bit more challenging. Like, I thought this week would be like clear Crombass or something. Alright, one more time. Hopefully. We have to run it again, so 4 times. Wow. What an annoying quest. Okay, one more time, unfortunately. And then I can finally never do this dungeon again. Alright, well, 4 times. That's finally done. So now we go back and talk. Oh, crap. I have to do it again. Really? Thought this was just gonna be like talk to the NPC to collect your coins or something. Clear this thing 5 times. Wow, week 4 sucks. But I don't have an orb, so I can't do it right now. Unless I can get one from, do I have like a past selection box where I can get one from? I don't think I do. I'm not seeing any. See if I can go buy one from the NPC or something. I'll go to Dungeon Stone, talk to her. See if I can get one more. I only need to do it one more time to finish it. I'd rather finish it today instead of having to go back and do it tomorrow or something. Okay, I don't have any shards, whatever that is. So, looks like I can't do it. That's fine. I wonder if I can get one from the Adventure Seal shop. Sometimes they have options like that for passes over there. Maybe I can buy one for like 20 Adventure Seals or something. Doesn't hurt to check. Well, I can buy Nearite from here. But no Shine Seeker Orbs. Okay. That's alright, we'll finish it later. And actually, it's been a long time since I've done a rebirth, so I'll go ahead and do that too. Been like 13 days. Almost 13 days. Oh, I know one thing I want to do. I was gonna do it off stream, but I guess I'll do it on stream just because. I'm gonna go to Philia. I'm gonna get some screenshots. Because, like, since Xanafied Neko and Xanafied Cat are on the same account, I can never really have Xanafied Neko, Xanafied Cat, and Xanafied Lion standing side by side. But I'm gonna take a picture of them all in like the same spot, and then I'm gonna edit it later to like kind of show like a height comparison, because Xanafied Lion is really, really tall. This might do. And then, real quick, I'm going to log in on as Xanafied Neko and Xanafied Cat and do the same thing. I think Xanafied Neko is taller than Xanafied Cat. Xanafied Cat might be the short one. I don't know though. Have to see. It was that building over there. Okay, so there. I think that will be good enough. Yeah, you can see how like Xanafied Lion, like he was about as high as this, the top of his head was about as high as this rope up here, whereas Xanafied Cat is nowhere near that tall. So he kind of goes to the bottom line, like the top of his head kind of lines up with the bottom line of this square design up here. It's about where he's at. It's no contest that Xanafied Lion is definitely my tallest character. But I am curious who's the tallest among Xanafied Neko and Xanafied Cat. That's weird. I thought Xanafiedlion was left in Philia last time, but I guess I moved him at some point. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Xanafiedlion's a little bit taller. He looks taller. Okay, let's put him right over here. Oh, he might be close to the same height. Move that quick view thing down here. Oops, not that close. There, that's good enough. There's one thing I want to check here. I wonder if this would be a better comparison, because then I could actually see where a character stands based on the lines here. In Xanafiedlion's case, his head is just over this top line here. I think I'm gonna get pictures here too. So yeah, back to Festia. I'm kind of thinking Festia might just be removed completely from the game when we go over to Unreal, because it's not like there's a lot to do over here. I wonder if they would ever consider like making something out of Festia, like actually making it a successful place. It's sort of like the failed version of the Gold Saucer from FF14. Or like the Gold Saucer in FF14, that's a great place that has a lot of mini games, lots of people spend time there for fun. Festia is just sort of the failed version of that. Okay, I'm starting to think that Xanafied Neko and Xanafied Cat are about the same height, actually. They look like they're pretty similar. That's what I'm kind of getting. It's pretty close. But let's get a couple more screenshots. There. There's a cool idea for a chair item. A chair item that literally shows you how tall your character is. So we can figure out like how many feet and how many inches tall a character is. Okay, now I need him to go to Festia as well. We can just get a better read doing it in front of that pillar. Obviously, Xanafiedlion's gonna be the tallest. I mean, he's gonna be taller than that pillar. So, it's clear who the winner among my characters will be. Yeah, he's just taller than the whole thing. I might need to come back during the daytime though, because the lighting isn't very good for a screenshot. So I think I'm gonna have to come back. Like, look, this thing has been covered up forever, so has that one. It's like, if they really wanted to, they could probably make Festia a pretty fun place. But this place has been pretty much abandoned. The only time we ever got summoned here was like for an anniversary event, and even that hasn't happened in like 5 or 6 years. And there are 2 more down here. No, 3 more. Wow. So yeah, there are 3 more things covered up down here that are never being used. So that's like, what, 5 in total? And then... here's how I would fix Festia. I think, like, aside from like adding new, better games to make people want to come back here, I think that's obviously like a big thing. But I think what else they could do to improve it, to get it more attention in general, is just put it in ULAD. Like, remove this wall here, put like a little pathway to enter and exit Festia from, right there. And then what you do for Festia is you finish out the ULAD map. So maybe somewhere up here they could make like a little pathway, and they could put it like somewhere in here or something like that. And then you could access Festia from ULAD. So every time you open the map, you would see like Festia right up here, and that would just make people remember it more. Even, I mean, it's so easy to forget about in the character tab. And then to get people coming back here, you put a trading post out here right in front. You put a commerce post out here. So add a trading post and put it on the ULAD map. Because then if you have commerce, people will be coming here for commerce, whether or not they plan on spending any time in Festia, and that will naturally get it more attention. And then if you actually improve the mini-games, make the games more fun, and actually give people an incentive to stay here for a bit and do dailies here and stuff like that, that's how you keep people in this area. That's the way to fix Festia. Like, obviously the games have to be better. You have to have dailies and rewards that are actually worth playing for. You gotta get rid of all these covered up tents and actually turn them into games. That's obviously important to like keep players wanting to stay here and wanting to play here, but part of the problem is getting it more attention first. I mean, they could do it, right? Like, it's possible. Even lore-wise, like, let's not kid ourselves. Like, Mabinogi is a game where there's magic and crap going on. I mean, the fairies here could just be like, we decided to transport Festia to ULAD to get it more attention because we're going bankrupt. Because no one ever goes to the abandoned Festia anymore with the fairy magic, so they decided to move it to ULAD so they would get more attention. though it's possible to do it. Anyway, let's get out of this place, because there really is nothing here at all worth my time. I mean, well, I could meditate on the hill for a little bit to get to level 10 or something, but who wants to do that? Okay, before we wrap things up, we're going to wrap up the Mabby stream pretty soon. But before we wrap things up for today, I want to check for official posts. Yeah, so we have a couple of posts. Oh, there's the pet community poll, right. I should vote on that. The guild title event is returning. We have the master plan thing. So yeah, a lot of things going on. Actually, I'm going to take a look at this one in Chrome. Okay, so let's vote for one of the pets. So, I don't really care about the elephant. I don't know if the lava walker imp, I don't know if that one can warp you like a warp imp can. That adds some value to it if it can. The broom is kind of lame. I mean, it's okay, but... Hey, a pelican. Who remembers those Pelican products for like the Game Boy Color and stuff? There was a company called Pelican that made like attachments for the Game Boy Color. Like the battery pack, so you could recharge it and it would only work for like 6 months. maybe less before it stopped holding a charge. I think maybe they also made like snake lights and a couple other things, and like the cables and stuff. Good times. The crab can bubble people, so that's cool. Like, you can tell it to bubble you or anyone that's in your party. But ultimately, I am a huge turtle fan. I love turtles and tortoises, I love cats, and owls. Those are probably like my top 3 favorite animals. Well, I mean, like, turtles and tortoises are a little different, so it's technically 4, but still. The balloon turtle is awesome. We are voting for that one. Oh wait, this was the live stream info. Okay. Hang on, where was the actual update? Here it is. This is the most exciting part. Finally, hard mode tech missions are back. It was a mistake to remove them in the first place. So yeah, I will be doing, I think this is arriving, what, on Thursday or something? So I will be doing tech missions on the higher difficulty. Because I need to get insight, because I'm going to do like a big shadow mission video on like shadow missions, Avon missions, Baltane missions, and tech missions, because they're all basically shadow missions, right? So I'm going to be covering something on that probably later this month. Guild improvements, so that's always nice. Funny how they didn't post the drop rate information for these figures here. Where's the items and rates? What are the chances of actually getting some of these figures? I'll bet it's really, really low. Funny how they didn't mention that. New herb pouches. So that's nice. It'd be really, really nice, since they're adding an antidote herb patch, it'd be really, really nice if they added the ability to plant antidote herbs on our homesteads. Currently, those are the only herbs that you can't plant on your homestead. But, like, it would make sense to finally add them as something we can put on our homesteads, because, I mean, antidote herbs are kind of more difficult to get as it is, so why would we even need a pouch for it? And like Odessa will now be affected by the portable diffuser, so if you are terrified of spiders and like Odessa's, well, now that's diffuser is going to work on those too, so more bears. I guess we're gonna have... bank services available out in front of Glenberna and at Conus Oasis, since the Relith dungeon is near there. But apparently it's gonna, at the Oasis, it's gonna be a box that looks like a mailbox, but it's not gonna support mail service. Okay. So what, are they just gonna put a skin of a mailbox at the Oasis and it's not actually going to be for mail, it's gonna be for banking? That's gonna look kind of funny. That'd be a very lazy route to doing it. Alright, well, let's wrap up the Mabinogi stream right around here for today. So I will be playing Mabinogi again tomorrow, and especially on Thursday. We're going to do techs on Thursday, because the elite ones are coming back, so I'm really happy about that. I think that's the first update I've had to look forward to in a while in this game. So, good decision. I'm glad to see that they're finally making an update that the player base asked for.